go. Two teams fighting it out for the final playoff spot in the Western Conference. This is Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com. Dallas Mavericks versus the Los Angeles Lakers at the Staples Center. These two teams are trying to track down the Utah Jazz for that coveted number 8 spot in the upcoming NBA playoffs in the Western Conference. 4.5-point favorites on the opening line for the Lakers, but that number has dropped down to as low as 2.5 in the betting market, while the total sits at 206.5, 207 after opening up at 209.5. Definitely monitor any future odds movement by going to SBRodds.com. The Dallas Mavericks have won 4 of their last 5 games. That includes a come-from-behind thriller, a 198 victory over the Chicago Bulls as 5-point home favorites on Saturday. They were dead in the water in that game. They outscored the Bulls by an incredible margin in the final 3 minutes of that game, and they've gone over the total in 6 of the last 7 contests. The Mavericks, of course, are a prideful franchise, especially since owner Mark Cuban took over the reins in the Lone Star State. They are trying to extend a 12-year postseason run. Forward Dirk Nowitzki, of course, is the leader of the group. He scored a season-high 35 points against the Bulls. He was absolutely sensational in the fourth quarter, and he's really turned up his offensive game over the last 3 games, averaging 29.7 points over that stretch. But the Mavericks are only 4-16 their last 20 regular season matchups against the Lakers, but the road team has won the first 3 meetings of the 2012-13 season series between these two teams, with Nowitzki missing the first 2. But he did manage to score 30 points and grab 13 rebounds in the February 24th contest, the last meeting between these two teams. 18-5 ATS as road underdogs of 3 points or less the last 2+ seasons. That includes a 7-1 ATS mark during the 2012-13 campaign. So a dangerous road underdog given this current point spread in the betting market. When you look at the Lakers, they alternated wins and losses over their recently completed 4-game road trip. That includes a 103-98 victory over the Sacramento Kings as 2.5-point favorites on Saturday. Center Dwight Howard has really turned up his offensive performance, but this team has really been lacking on the defensive end without the services of Meta World Peace, who will be out at least for a few more weeks. But Dwight Howard, 25 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 blocks against the Sacramento Kings last time out, and also he's trying to up his production on the offensive end, so it might be taking away from his defensive play due to the fact that Kobe Bryant has been hampered with a left foot injury for the last couple weeks. Bryant 11 of 35 from the field combined the last 2 games, but he did dish out a season-high tying 14 assists against the Kings. I think there's really only one way to play this game, but I'm going to shorten the amount of my play. Instead of playing the Mavericks due to the fact that the line has already moved, I'm going to play them first half. I still don't think Los Angeles knows what it wants to do on the offensive end. Steve Nash, the starting point guard, is expected not to play in this game. He's listed as doubtful. So I'm expecting Kobe Bryant to kind of feel out the situation, especially with his injury, and see if Dwight Howard can carry the team on his shoulders in the first half. But I just don't see that happening, and I see Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks carrying over the momentum from that come-from-behind victory against the Bulls and letting it fly here in the opening 24 minutes. So I think the best play on Tuesday night's game between the Mavericks and Lakers is the Mavericks first half. You're basically going to see 1.5 twos in the betting market. That's my suggestion on this really important game in the Western Conference. This has been Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com. Definitely follow me on Twitter at Jeff Grant Sports. Cut.